Do you know that you can get someone to agree to your message before you even deliver it? A lot of times we think we are in control of our decisions, but more often than not, our subconscious minds have already made the decision and we are just witnesses in the decision-making process, and we think that we have control when we actually don't. Hey guys, Inside Junkie here, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe if you want to watch more content about how you can improve yourself and your life using principles from over 100 books. So if you've read Robert Cialdini's book Influence, you'll know that there are 6 principles of influence that affect everyone, and if you don't know what they are, watch the video at the end screen of this video. Now, according to Cialdini's new book Pre-suation, there is also a 7th principle, but I will tell you what that is at the end of this video. The main way in which your decision can be influenced before even delivering the message is through something called priming. For example, religious recruiters, when they want people to convert to their religion, start off by asking, "Are you unhappy?" instead of asking, "Are you happy?" Once they say the word unhappy, even though the question essentially remains the same, they've already put a negative connotation in your mind. Now you're going to think of all the moments in your life where you were actually unhappy, and you're going to think, yeah, maybe I am unhappy, maybe I do need to change my religion. So basically, setting the context before asking questions makes them likely to answer the question in a certain way. Here's how you can use this to your advantage. If you want to ask someone for some money, simply by talking about larger sums like the distance of the sun to the earth, how many numbers of seconds are there in an hour, you can influence them by giving you a larger sum of money. Now keep in mind, this is not the same as the contrast principle, where you give a bigger number and then go for a smaller number, because in this technique, you're just priming them with a bigger number, and their minds are already going to be accustomed to larger numbers. Another thing that determines people's decision is attention. Attention determines relevancy. You know, like Gary Vaynerchuk says, attention is the only asset. The more something has people's attention, the more important that thing appears to be. So you must have seen this in political campaigns. The leaders' faces seem to be plastered everywhere, on the TV, in your social media newsfeed, and on the billboards. Just merely having your attention all the time, these people seem to be more important in your mind, even if you don't like them. Even if there are political candidates who actually have a more important message, they might just get drowned out because they don't have attention. This is why they say there is no such thing as bad publicity. Also, it has been seen that people are much more likely to be influenced by you if you start off by asking for their advice. If you ask someone for advice about something and if they agree to give you the advice, the Benjamin Franklin effect kicks in. They feel like they're helping you because they probably like you. Subconsciously in their mind, they make up a reason about why they like you, and then when you try to persuade them to do something, they're more likely to be receptive to it. The next step is that fear grips more attention than a promising future. You must have seen advertisements that go along the following lines. Are you tired of working 9 to 5 at a job that you hate? Are you miserable every day when you come back to your home? Are you afraid that this is going to be the rest of your life? Well, don't worry. By using our platform, you can make money sitting in your living room working as less as 2 hours a day. This kind of ad gets a lot of people's attention because it taps into their fear. It makes them feel like if they don't pay attention to what the ad is telling them to do, they may get doomed to an eternity living like they are right now. If instead of using fear-mongering, they had gone with something like, "Oh, wouldn't it be nice to be able to work from home and make some money? We have the perfect solution for you, blah blah blah," the ad would have been a lot less effective. So like I told you before, there is a 7th principle for influencing people, and that is unity. Simply put, we like to be influenced by people who are more like us. This goes back to our evolutionary psychology. We like being surrounded by our tribe because it makes us feel more secure. So if you can make someone feel like you and that person are a part of the same group, then they'll be more open to your suggestions. There are a few ways in which we feel that sense of unity with someone. Number 1 is similarities. We tend to like people who look like us, have the same religion, or maybe even have the same name as us. Some studies have shown that people like brands which have the same letters as their names. The second one is kinship, anything related to our family. In a survey conducted by the author, he offered a very inconsequential benefit, like maybe 1 point on one test, to students if their parents completed a survey. And using this technique, he was able to increase participation by those parents nearly 5 times to almost 100%. Invoking familial unity was remarkably persuasive. So if any of your family members have done something or bought something, you're way more likely to follow suit. And the third thing is shared behaviors. If you and I both have similar behaviors, then obviously we're going to like each other more. This would explain why people who often serve together in the army have such a strong bond. By going through the same experiences and performing the same behaviors every day, they form a special bond with one another. And in fact, if you work in a corporate environment, I'll give you a bonus tip. According to Cialdini, if you're having a meeting in a conference room, there are a few places that you can position yourself around the table to make sure that your message is heard by the key decision maker, which is probably the most senior person in the room. If you want to make sure that your message is heard, your best bet would be to sit directly across from them, as when you will speak, their attention will be directed towards you. However, the worst place to sit would be right next to them because of the next in line effect. This basically means that if you speak just before them, they'll be thinking about what they're going to say, so they won't be paying much attention to you. And if you speak right after that person, they're going to be going over what they had just said, so again, they won't be paying any attention to you. If you want to learn more about ways of influencing people, please go watch part 1 of this video on Practical Psychology's channel, where we discuss the 6 principles of influence. That's all for this video. If you learned something new in this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more videos like this one, and thanks for watching.